Tonight, what could be a seismic shift when it comes to education in America. President Trump expected to sign an executive order to begin dismantling the Department of Education.
So what impact could this have on students and schools here in Arizona? As 12 News journalist Kyle Simchuk found out, it depends on who you ask.
It's a move that could reshape how education is funded and governed in the U.S. President Donald Trump is expected to sign an executive order directing Education Secretary Linda McMahon to begin dismantling the Department of Education. McMahon says the department has failed students and is bloated with bureaucracy. She says overhauling the federal agency will empower parents to make the best educational choices for their children.
The Department of Education's role in Arizona is really to help with funding and making sure that our students are provided for in different ways. This includes things like funds to our special ed programs, protecting students' civil rights, and supporting a lot of our lower income students.
Arizona receives billions in federal education dollars each year. The agency is also responsible for college financial aid and student loans. State Superintendent Tom Horn says shutting down the U.S. Department of Education would not result in a loss of federal formula funding for Arizona. In a statement, Horn said, quote, "Those dollars are appropriated by Congress and tied to federal education laws for special education, disadvantaged students, English language learners, and others. The money for competitive grants could also be directed back to states. There is no reason to filter funds through a federal bureaucracy."
The Department of Education protects some of that process to make sure that that funding actually gets to the students that need it. Here's the deal. Once you start stripping away some of these bigger pieces like the Department of Education, it's going to be a lot easier to strip away other services, other programs, other funding opportunities for our students.
Even with an executive order, President Trump cannot shutter the Department of Education himself. It would take an act of Congress.
Now is the time to reach out to your representatives and ask them to stop this from happening.
Kyle Simchuk, 12 News.